let's talk about an epic mustache and a beard. Let's talk about that. So this is my life. I'm 43 years old. I've never grown my beard this long. I've definitely never grown a mustache this long. And it was never something I intended to do. I mean, back in October, I went like a week. I was just too busy to shave, and I didn't. And then that turned into a beard. And then I go walking every day. So I'm outside in the cold, and I'm like, well, the beard helps. And then like, but I want to keep growing the beard, but I don't want a short mustache. So this handlebar mustache is the ultimate solution. See, I didn't know this until I became this, that ultimately above the lip is shorter than the sides. The sides, I mean, ultimately is like 3 months. I don't even know that it's really been trimmed in 3 months. I went to the barber and I showed him a picture, and this right here is shorter right above the lip. And then starting right here is where it goes out longer. So I just all I do is I simply just take balm, beard balm or whatever, and I just get a good glob on my finger and I just pull this on both sides. Like, I don't even twist it, I just pull it, and that's enough to sustain it. But it is interesting that if you are the man who physically has the DNA that will allow you to grow this beard with the mustache, if you have that DNA like I do, and it's almost like, wow, I'm 43 years old, I'm just now utilizing this. But I do think that with the concept of this kind of facial hair, this gentleman type of look, I think that there is a certain amount of wisdom about life that you gain through experience, through enough failures and overcoming enough things, that you do have this wisdom that you can bestow upon others. And I think now I'm at that point where I'm at that point in life, so that the beard matches the man on the inside. So I think it's finally come together. And it's interesting because today alone, I went to church with my family, and I went to the grocery store after, and multiple people saw me, and they said something to the fact of, wow, you look very distinguished. Wow, you look dapper. Wow, that's a really nice mustache and beard you got there. Wow. People are surprised. People are taken aback because most men, A, can't grow this, but B, can't pull it off. And I think, again, part of it happens to be about life experience. So this was never something I planned, but I will say it is definitely an interesting way that you will stand out in a crowd if you end up growing this. So again, let's just get another close look here. I mean, handlebar mustache. And, in theory, I've been growing this for 3 months from a clean shaven face. And I have been to the barber once actually to get it trimmed up. That was about 3 weeks ago. And let's just face it, you put in a nice ribbed sweater here and you get a scarf. I mean, it's funny how masculine a look this is. I know scarves for men, yeah, if you get the right one, it looks very sophisticated. And actually, when you look it up, scarves have a more masculine history than anything. I mean, they especially were part of the uniform for military across the world. So what you're ultimately doing is, it's just comfortably leaning in to a masculine identity and a masculine mindset, because I'm showing the confidence. Yeah, I can totally pull off a scarf and a sweater. I look sophisticated. I do. And of course, especially when you get some kind of hat like this, you put it together, you look like you are carrying some kind of knowledge that people need from you. And it's interesting, I've come to terms with the fact that it's important to me that I stand out in a crowd, but it's not because, I need to feel unique, I need to feel special. I think for me, it's my way of telling everybody in the room, hey, I'm someone that you're going to want to know. I'm someone ultimately important. And until you figure out who I am and have a conversation with me, you're kind of missing out. That's a goal. Because that's the thing, we are drawn to interesting people. We are. Like, if everyone seems the same, then that's kind of boring. But like, there's somebody that there's a story there. I wonder what it is. Now granted, how did I respond to everyone today who complimented me? I said, oh wow, thank you. And if it was a man, I would just say to him, hey, the invitation, it's an open invitation to you. Feel free to join me, And, I invite them to grow the facial hair that, I'm ultimately pulling off. But something I've said for years on this channel is, if you try a look that most men aren't willing to do, you already, in theory, pull it off, and you're already going to gain the admiration of many people. I mean, even as a man, like shaving your head, most men aren't brave enough to do that. If you do it, okay, well, there you're the guy. If you can grow a beard like this and you do it, well, then you become the guy in the room that's willing to do that. And to dress in a way. See, I think that's another thing too, right? Is to have this beard and mustache, I have to dress the part as well. I'm not going to be wearing just a t-shirt. I'm not going to be wearing something very basic, because that wouldn't match. I mean, because this is a very distinguished look. You can grow a beard and you can look the other end of the spectrum. You can actually look uneducated or unmotivated, just by growing it out full. But it's important to get some sort of shape to it, and then that shape ultimately helps determine the image that you project to the world. So it is interesting, again, to me that I've never grown a beard like this before, and I never plan to. And even now, I'm like, well, when will I shave this? Once it starts getting hot, and I'm walking outside, am I gonna need to go ahead and shave this off? I don't know. I don't know, and I think that's part of the fun of it, is just going along with it, which is probably another idea that this projects to the world. It's not only I am distinguished and I am interesting. I'm someone you want to know, and I do have wisdom for you. But I'm self-aware. You have to be to have this on your face. But also, I'm fun. I'm a fun guy. I don't have to. You can be fun in a subtle way, and I think again that's that masculine energy that you will see, is that when you have this look, you don't have to announce anything. You've already announced it just by standing up straight and walking into a room and broadcasting that image. And I think it's a more mature way of being masculine. You don't have to be covered in all these tattoos and all these over-the-top t-shirts with guns and flags and all that. I mean, you can, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But you can do it also in a subtle way. And I think culture is starved for a distinguished gentleman who is emotionally intelligent, who does not need validation. And that's an important part of this. I am showing up in it with a unique presence, but I'm not asking anything from anyone. Ultimately, the whole concept too is that you want to draw people to you, the law of attraction. And it is funny how people, when you're interesting, people will learn, and when you're interesting and not looking for validation, people will come to you and give you that validation that you're not needing at this point in your life. So there we go. There's sort of a psychological unpacking of what it's like to be a dapper gentleman. I would love to hear from you right here in the comments.